God's afternoon. November 30, 2022, Philippine time zone, 5:30 afternoon, Wednesday. Continuation of Chapter 4, Integrated Planetary Earth Calendar, IPEC. The Book of DESTINATOR by Michael Dawn, narrated by Diva, Precious. 6 days of creation, Integrated Planetary Earth Calendar, IPEC. Day 1. (10,450 BC), negative 0-1. Day 2, 9,450 BC, negative 0-2. Day 3, 8,450 BC, negative 0-3. Day 4, 7,450 BC, negative 0-4. Day 5, 6,450 BC, negative 0-5. Day 6, 5,450 BC, negative 0-6. Day 7. The narration for the creation week, Integrated Planetary Earth Calendar, IPEC, World History Count. First day is marked indicated as negative 0-1 and as 10,450 BC under the IPEC World History Count. From the Good News Bible Version, 1985 edition, the story of the illustrated The 6 Days of Creation, Integrated Planetary Earth Calendar, IPEC, World History Count. Under the first column, Day 1 of the Creator's 6 Days of Creation, it is marked and indicated as 10,450 BC, according to IPEC World History Count, and also the negative 0-1 span of the 1,000 years of planetary Earth years, duration of 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 46 seconds, with NASA 4.09 seconds, increasing through the years, and only 1 day duration for the Creator's time. This is based on the records of the Holy Scriptures in Psalms chapter 90, verse 4. 1,000 years to you are like 1 day. Also in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, there is no difference in the Lord's sight between 1 day and 1,000 years. To him the two are the same. The events which took place during the first day of creation, Genesis chapter 1, verses 1-5, used 1,000 planetary Earth years, and while only 1 day in the Creator's time reckoning. Significantly, it was in the year 10,450 BC. In the beginning, when God created the universe, the earth was formless and desolate. The raging ocean that covered everything was engulfed in total darkness. And the Spirit of God was moving over the water. Then God commanded, "Let there be light," and light appeared. God was pleased with what he saw. Then he separated the light from the darkness, and he named the light day, and the darkness night. Evening passed, and morning came. That was the first day. On motion towards our present time, being 2019 AD, Under the second column, day of 2 of the Creator's 6th day of creation, it is marked and indicated as 9450 BC, according to IPEC World History Count, and also the negative 0-2. The year 9450 BC came from 10450 BC minus 1000 years. The BC count diminishes as the direction of motion moves towards us, 2019 AD, which we call present or now. The events which took place during the second day of creation, 9450 BC, is recorded in Genesis chapter 1 verses 6 to 8. Then God commanded, "Let there be a dome to divide the water and to keep it into separate places. And it was done. So God made a dome, and it separated the water under it from the water above it. He named the dome Sky. Evening passed, and morning came. That was the second day." Under the third column, day 3 of the Creator's 6 days of creation, it is marked and indicated as 8450 BC, according to IPEC World History Count, and also the negative 0-3. The year 8450 BC came from 9450 BC minus 1000 years. The BC count diminishes as the direction of motion moves towards us, 2019 AD, which we call present or now. The events which took place during the third day of creation, 8450 BC, is recorded in Genesis chapter 1 verses 9 to 13. Then God commanded, "Let the water below the sky come together in one place, so that the land will appear." And it was done. He named the land Earth, and the water which had come together he named Sea. And God was pleased with what he saw. Then he commanded, "Let the earth produce all kinds of plants, those that bear grain and those that bear fruit." And it was done. So the earth produced all kinds of plants, and God was pleased with what he saw. Evening passed and morning came. That was the third day. Under the fourth column, day 4 of the Creator's 6 days of creation, it is marked and indicated as 7450 BC, according to IPEC World History Count, and also the negative 0-4. The year 7450 BC came from 8450 BC minus 1000 years. The BC count diminishes as the direction of motion moves towards us, 2019 AD, which we call present or now. The events which took place during the fourth day of creation, 7450 BC, is recorded in Genesis chapter 1 verses 14 to 19. Then God commanded, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate day from night, and to show the time when days, years, and religious festivals begin. They will shine in the sky to give light to the earth." And it was done. So God made the two larger lights, the sun to rule over the day, and the moon to rule over the night. He also made the stars. He placed the lights in the sky to shine on the earth, to rule over the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God was pleased with what he saw. Evening passed and morning came. That was the fourth day. Under the fifth column, day 5 of the Creator's 6 days of creation, it is marked and indicated as 6450 BC, according to IPEC World History Count, and also the negative 0-5. The year 6450 BC came from 7450 BC minus 1000 years. The BC count diminishes as the direction of motion moves towards us, 2019 AD, which we call present or now. The events which took place during the fifth day of creation, 6450 BC, is recorded in Genesis chapter 1, verses 20 to 23. Then God commanded, "Let the water be filled with many kinds of living beings, and let the air be filled with birds." So God created the great sea monsters, all kinds of creatures that live in the water, and all kinds of birds. And God was pleased with what he saw. He blessed them all and told the creatures that live in the water to reproduce and to fill the sea. And he told the birds to increase in number. Evening passed and morning came. That was the fifth day. Under the sixth column, day 6 of the Creator's sixth day of creation, it is marked and indicated as 5450 BC according to IPEC World History Count, and also the negative 0-6. The year 5450 BC came from 6450 BC minus 1000 years. The BC count diminishes as the direction of motion moves towards us 2019 AD, which we call present or now. The events which took place during the sixth day of creation, 5450 BC, is recorded in Genesis chapter 1, verses 24 to 31. Then God commanded, "Let the earth produce all kinds of animal, life, domestic and wild, large and small." And it was done. So God made them all, and he was pleased with what he saw. Then God said, "And now we will make human beings. They will be like us and resemble us. They will have power over the fish, the birds, and all animals, domestic and wild, large and small." So God created human beings, making them to be like himself. He created them male and female, blessed them, and said, "Have many children, so that your descendants will live all over the earth and bring it under their control. I am putting you in charge of the fish, the birds, and all the wild animals. I have provided all kinds of grain and all kinds of fruit for you to eat. But for all the wild animals and for all the birds, I have provided grass and leafy plants for food." And it was done. God looked at everything he had made, and he was very pleased. Evening passed and morning came. That was the sixth day. Now, the elusive moment when Adam was created is pinpointed at 4580 BC. It must be remembered that Adam was created within the sixth day of creation. That is also within the 5450 BC count. This 4580 BC count came from 4450 BC, when Adam fathered Seth at the age of 130 years, and the motion going backwards, the BC count increases. And so, 4450 plus 130 years, the age when he fathered Seth. Is equals to 4580 BC, when Adam was created by God, as the count in BC increases moving backwards. Arriving at 4580 BC, and within the sixth day of the Creator's 6 days creation, and also designated, indicated as 5450 BC, the uninterrupted continuous count flows smoothly whether forward or backward motion in the destinator. It is expected that there will be tremendous ripples and repercussions in the minds of readers, and it is a healthy, vibrant platform which eventually be a fulfillment of what is written in John 16:13. When, however, the Spirit comes, who reveals the truth about God. He will lead you into all the truth. He will not speak on his own authority, but he will speak of what he hears and will tell you of things to come. Furthermore, it is written in Isaiah 42:9, "Now I will tell you of new things even before they begin to happen," with more statements from the Creator as written in Isaiah chapter 48 verses 6 to 7. "Now I will tell you of new things to come, events that I did not reveal before. Only now am I making them happen. Nothing like this took place in the past." And plainly the Almighty Creator said in Isaiah chapter 41 verse 4, "Who was it that made it happen? Who has determined the course of history? I, the Lord, was there at the beginning, and I, the Lord God, will be there at the end." Let's pause, dear reader. The illustration of computed count of yours is not an invention, conjecture, assumption, or product of a whimsical imagination on the part of the writer. There is no need for him to explain, defend, or justify anything because he is just a receiver, enduring his habit of communing with the Almighty Creator since the 70s until this moment of writing. Any question will be answered in truth as the Almighty Creator provides, as written in James chapter 1 verses 5 to 6. "But if any of you lacks wisdom, he should pray to God, who will give it to him, because God gives generously and graciously to all. But when you pray, you must believe and not doubt at all." To be continued. End of chapter 4.